This is an introduction to flavor profiling. I go into great detail on this topic within Inside Cooker Bus. So let's just talk about this. Flavor profiling is basically the understanding of different components and how they fit together so that you can create a different flavor profile. Whatever you're cooking has to take time to meld. The flavors have to take time to meld. So when you're building a flavor profile, it's something that you have to think about, like which direction you're going in. I like to focus on Italian cuisine, Mexican cuisine, German. These are just some of my favorite, and sometimes they overlap with each other. So with my Italian, some of that like Mexican influence will come into that, and it's like with the Mexican, a little bit of German will come in with that, and it's just how I build things together from the skills that I have. But for you to be able to start building flavor profiles and understanding how to do this, because this is really the basic foundation, there are 3 important steps that do require skill for you to be able to create successful, delicious flavor profiles, which is going to make you a better creative cook in the kitchen. Once you understand these concepts, then cooking becomes a lot easier. It just kind of clicks. This is something that clicked for me. It took time for this to click for me. My first year of culinary school was kind of rough because I just didn't get it. Things just didn't click yet. But when it did, it was just like a light went on, and it was because of these 3 concepts that you will learn. Cooker Bus goes into great detail. I go into detail about all of this, and I show all of it within the recipes inside of the course. So first, number 1 is type of cuisine. So first, when you're deciding what you're going to be cooking, you need to decide what type of cuisine you're going to start cooking. That's your direction, that's your foundation, that's your starting point that you're going to build off of. So for example, if you want to create a marinara sauce, then you know you need Italian ingredients. So you're going to need tomatoes, possibly a little red wine, possibly some balsamic if you want to make it a little bit extra. And you're going to need other aromatics like Italian herbs, basil, oregano. You're going to need onions, garlic. And once you establish that, that's the direction that you're going in. So we got that. So now you have all these raw, basic ingredients. The next step, number 2 of these concepts, is balancing flavors. This takes practice, this takes skill, and I go into it. There's a whole segment about balancing flavors inside of Cooker Bus. So balancing flavors takes practice, and it's something that helps you combine ingredients. So you're taking these raw ingredients, you have them all sitting out and they're ready. Understanding how to balance flavors is how you're going to start combining them so that you can start creating a new profile from all of the individual ingredients. So for example, that tomato sauce, how to cut the acidity of it, how to balance the acidity of the wine, how to balance sweetness, how to balance bitterness, and how to use salt to bring out extra flavors. These are all things that I go in great depth with inside Cooker Bus. And then the third thing is the cooking method, the whole process. The cooking process is where all of the flavor comes together. So you take these individual components, all of these different ingredients, and you understand how to balance the flavors inside of the cooking process and with all of them separately, and then you're combining them, and then this step-by-step process is what builds the flavor and melds everything together so that you can have this finished product of a successful Italian marinara sauce, which is your final product, and that is the result of your flavor profiling. So you have to build off of these 3 different concepts. The reason that I film Cook or Bust the way that I do is so that during the cooking method that we're using, for example, if we're cooking that marinara sauce, I'm going to show you all the basics. We're going to start with cutting up the vegetables, we're going to start with sauteing, we're going to go through every different step, and you'll understand why there's steps and why it does take a little time for things to cook properly so that you can get the best result. And that's why I film it that way, so that you do see every step in the cooking process, so that you start to understand the science behind it, the science of building more flavor. Because it's different. You can't just throw all of those raw components together and leave it. That doesn't create good food. It may be all right, it may be edible, but we're trying to cook great food. I'm trying to make you a good cook and give you my knowledge and my skills through the only way I know how, which is this course. Understand that there's a process for everything, and if you follow it properly, you'll start to build this skill set. And that is what's going to make you creative. So next time you decide to go make an Italian sauce, you have the knowledge, you have the skills, and you can be more creative with it and create something of your own that is completely unique and it's your recipe. So this is just a quick segment that I wanted to do all about flavor profiling. Make sure to go over and get your membership for Cook or Bust. Remember, it's a one-time payment and you continue to get recipes and content from me as I add to it. There is no monthly subscription, it's just a one-time payment. So everything that we talked about in this video today, I will go into greater depth inside of Cook or Bust. We'll completely break it down and then you'll get to see all of it working in action within the recipes.